Yo, DJ Hot Deck, drop the motherfucking beatbox, dog. Bring that next level shit. Yo, for real, that's what I'm talking about.
UFC
Check it out.
179 in Toronto, Canada. First fight of the night, Nate Diaz versus Rory McDonald. Who are your picks, bro?
Well, it's pretty tough because Nate Diaz and McDonald are both pretty well-rounded fighters. I do think Nate Diaz has a little more of an advantage because he's good at jiu-jitsu, just to put it bluntly. And, he trains with, the Scrap Pack, Gracie's. It seems to me that even though they're both coming off of a loss, they're both pretty well-rounded. Nate Diaz's loss wasn't as bad as McDonald's last loss was, and he also has the ace on the ground. So I'm going to say Nate Diaz, some type of submission by the end of the second round.
Okay, you're probably wondering why we're not talking about Vladimir Matyushenko versus Jason Brills. It's because that fight is pretty relevant. So sorry if you care. But this fight, in my opinion, should have been on the main card. Even though they're both coming off losses, so that could be a reason why it's not. But I personally feel it's a bad time to be fighting Nate Diaz, because when you think about it, all the guys he's training with right now are at their peak condition. You look at Nick Diaz, who just defended his title. Gilbert Melendez just defended his title. Jake Shields is fighting. So all the guys he's training with are at a really high level right now. So I feel he will take this fight, possibly by a decision. So I say Nate Diaz, Nate Diaz, be a decision.
All right, second fight of the night, which is technically the first fight of the night, Mark Bocek versus Ben Henderson. What are your picks?
I don't think anyone's giving Mark as much of a chance as they should at all. I can see why, but you know what? I'm just gonna lay it down. Third round, my boy Mark by submission.
You're just gonna throw it out, Mark submission.
Mark
Third
submission.
round.
Jits. Third round.
A lot of people are probably going to give this one to Ben Henderson. He had a really good showing against Anthony Pettis when he lost his WEC featherweight title. Personally, I feel this fight is going to be a lot closer than a lot of people think. Ben Henderson is very resilient when it comes to submissions, but Mark Bocek is very adept in his ground game. He has a lot of finishes by submissions. So it could be a lot closer than people think. I'm still going to go with Ben Henderson by TKO. Early second round possible.
Second fight of the night, Lyoto Machida versus Randy Couture. What are your picks?
Ooh. That one's tough. Couture is more of a cage against the cage, keep him there, dirty boxing type fighter. And Machida, I always rep Machida, no matter what kind of bad things may come upon him.
I know what you're saying.
But, Machida has the jits. I think if he can find a way, even he has the judo too, if he can find a way to get Couture to the ground or use the judo to get him there, I think Machida in the third round is going to pull this off. Just like I said with the last one. But I want to say, and this might, I don't think this is instinct, this is just me really wanting to say by guillotine. But he's going to take him out early third round.
Okay, Okay, Lyoto Machida, guillotine, third round.
This is another fight that is probably going to be a lot more competitive than people think. A lot of people are saying Lyoto's just going to go over there and finish him. For those of you who don't know, this will be Randy Couture's final fight, is what I believe I've been told. Win or lose, this should be his final fight. So that's off to Randy Couture, legend in the sport. But Lyoto Machida is coming off a loss to Rampage. Of course, he didn't look too hot, in my opinion. Although in the third round, he did come back quite a bit. But I believe a lot of this fight will take place against the cage, being that Randy Couture specializes in dirty boxing and Greco-Roman wrestling. Lyoto Machida's judo could come into play in that and possibly get Randy Couture to the ground himself. But I do see this one going the distance. I don't see a decision in this. I mean, finishing this. So I'm going to go with Randy Couture versus
All right, co-main event of the night, Jose Aldo versus Mark Hominick for the now UFC Featherweight Championship. Who you got?
So, Mark Hummingbird is he's a perfect boxer. He's his form and his form is perfect and he's always where he needs to be. He's an incredible striker. He's fast. He's a really good boxer. And he's faster, I think, than Jose Aldo, who is also very fast and brutal when it comes to his strikes. He's got the jits, but I'm pretty sure from what I watched with him, he's just a brutal striker. And he has the kicks because he was a former soccer player. His kicks are brutal, and Mark isn't the best at blocking, checking kicks, because he's a boxer. And so I think Jose's gonna kick Mark in the leg and his leg's gonna explode. Plus 17 arteries somehow. But I do think Jose's gonna lose because he kicks him so hard he gets disqualified.
Okay, this fight is going to be exciting. Both of these guys are phenomenal strikers. Jose Aldo, we all know him. One of the top pound-for-pound fighters in the world, in my opinion. Just going out wrecking guys, making short work of all his opponents. Mark Hominick, who's looked impressive lately, has really crisp boxing, very precise striking. A lot of things by the book, and he's very quick. One thing I've noticed about Jose Aldo is he throws a lot of wild looping punches. So I believe if he does end up doing that and leaving himself open, Mark Hominick can connect, and it could go a lot different than people are saying. A lot of people aren't giving Hominick enough credit in this fight. He very well could finish Jose Aldo, but at the same time, it's hard to say Jose Aldo and not expect him to finish people. So I'm going to go with the upset, Mark Hominick. All right, I'll put it like this. If it finishes in the first round, I'm going to go Mark Hominick for the upset for some reason. But I just have that feeling. If it goes past the first round, I do see Jose Aldo chopping him down with leg kicks, which I've noticed he has a problem checking in the past, and finishing on the feet. So that's my pick. I know it's not a clear pick, but I don't give a fuck. So Mark Hominick, first round knockout. TKO.
All right, main event of the night, George St-Pierre versus Jake Shields for the UFC welterweight title.
All right, I want to start off by saying I actually think Jose is going to win in the third round by TKO. Okay, now back to this glorious of fights. Okay, I want to start off. I already said that, but okay. People don't give Jake Shields enough credit
Thank you.
at all. Like, I'm just gonna say it right now. I'm thinking GSP is gonna win, but even if you even watch the primetime, even GSP was giving Jake Shields the respect he deserves, which a lot of people really aren't. He's a master at jiu-jitsu. He's gone the last 7 years without losing, you know? And Jake Shields, if you notice, he's really got GSP. He's being taken seriously by GSP more than any other person GSP has fought. He's trained so hard in so many different ways too. He's training even harder at jiu-jitsu just so he can, you know, try to last with Jake Shields. Jake Shields really, he deserves a lot more respect than he gets. However, I just don't think he's going to be handling his rhythm.
He can't handle the rhythm.
He can't handle the rhythm. It's just, GSP just really does mix it up a lot, and he's aggressive. He's got that, I don't know what type of strength it is, but it's just, you know when he's on you, the rush, you know? So, I really can't say, honestly, how I think he's going to win. I just have this feeling that he's going to win, but it's not going to be a glorious thing. I want to say by decision, but if it goes to the ground at all, Jake Shields has complete control of all of that, so then any decision victory, unless Jake's pulling guard, which I think UFC refs need to stop giving the person on top the points for it when the person on bottom is in control. But I would have to say that's really the only way GSP can win.
Make this one quick. A lot of people are counting Jake Shields out in this fight, and I believe that is a grave mistake. Jake Shields is exactly where he needs to be in his career right now, and he's taking this fight very seriously. I mean, he's bringing in top-notch guys to try to combat GSP's style, because we know GSP likes to switch things up, and it makes it really hard for people to adjust to him. I believe Jake Shields, I believe he brought in Chael Sonnen, trained with Phil Davis, Marcelo Garcia in Jiu-Jitsu. Of course, you got the guys at the Scrap Pack, Nate Diaz, Nick Diaz, Gil Melendez. So he has top-notch training partners, and you know they're pushing him right now to be the best Jake Shields that he can possibly be. Same can be said for GSP. If you watch the primetime videos, he's been working on his flexibility and coordination, doing some gymnastics. So they're both going to be the best that they can be come fight night. So it should be a really exciting fight. With that being said, I do think Jake Shields has it in him. He has the drive and everything that former GSP opponents didn't have to take his belt on that night. A lot of people have been blurred by his fight with Campman. He had a really bad weight cut. He had to cut 20 pounds in one night, I believe. So he should look much better. A lot of people are counting him out, and I think that is just a fool's choice. The man has gone undefeated for nearly 7 years now, largely one-dimensional. So that attests to how good he actually is. So I'm going to say Jake Shields by a first round arm and guillotine.